Hello, it's Matt here, bringing to you another new series. This is called Searchlight, and in this series I'll be taking a look at games that are currently on Steam's new Greenlight feature. You can support every game here by going to the page and giving them a thumbs up, and if the game gets enough support then it will be put onto Steam. So let's get started with my first game. And our first game is a really unique take on the first-person shooter genre, and it is made by Wildfire and it's called Reciever. You might have heard of this, especially if you have pre-ordered Wildfire's other game called Overgrowth, which is currently in development. It's been in development for absolutely years. But why should you care about this? Well, it is, as I said, a unique version of a first-person shooter where you have to do things that you wouldn't have to do in any other shooter, like cock your gun, aim properly on the screen, your gun isn't fixed in any position, and it looks like a great game. I haven't actually managed to play it myself, because the only way to play it at the moment is to pre-order Overgrowth. It was recently updated, which is quite interesting. It's got 4 new guns, I believe, in the update, but it's only 4% rated so far, so we need to get that number up. Why should you care about Wildfire games? Well, they are the people behind the Humble Indie Bundles, so that should be reason enough really to give this one a like. So if you want to rate this one with a thumbs up or favourite it, which both help the developers a lot, go ahead and find the link in the description. The next game is a first-person roguelike dungeon crawler called Delver. It's by a guy called Cudigan on Steam, and I actually did a indie view episode about this game, and it's a really cool concept. It's got a lot of pixel art with sprites moving around on the screen in the first-person view. It's something that I haven't really seen before. It's somewhat visually similar to Minecraft, but it's not really that similar. It's by no means a rip-off. And you really have to use your head. It's permadeath, so if you die, you are not coming back. You can download it for free from the developer's website, which will also be in the description, and it's also in the description of the interview episode. So if you want to give this a like or a favourite, head into the description and it's there. If you've been using the internet for the past few months, you will no doubt know about Slender. That is a game where you walk around in a forest and get scared by a big tall man with no face. And this is Slender Source. Now I heard about this a while ago, but it is now on Steam Greenlight, and is essentially a souped up version of Slender. It is the same basic concept where you have to go around finding notes and escaping the Slender Man, who will always be watching you, which is always nice. But it is in the Source engine, it is much more sophisticated, it's got better animations, better looks, and it's also got capability for things like co-op and multiplayer, which is actually planned in Slender Source. They also say it's going to be free to play, which is always a nice touch. It's pretty popular so far on the Greenlight. It has 22% at the moment of the necessary positive ratings it needs, but it still requires a bit of a push. So by all means go and like it and favourite it. It's a free game, there's no reason not to, and it looks pretty damn good. Keeping with the horror theme, the next game is called Routine by Luna Software. This is a first-person survival horror game set on a lunar base on the moon. And that's an interesting place to set your horror game, given that there's nothing really there. Interestingly, the game has a permadeath system, and that will definitely make it more scary. I know playing Amnesia, I died a lot, and when I died, I knew there was just nothing there anymore that could scare me. But now you have this constant threat of death, which would definitely make it very tense. It's doing somewhat well with the ratings. It's got 13% at the moment, but it can always do better. It looks really good. The graphics look amazing for an indie company, and it looks like a big budget game, and why would you not want that? It doesn't even matter if you're not a horror fan. This should be on Steam, absolutely, because I mean it just looks brilliant. So by all means go and like that and favourite it, link is in the description as usual. Next up is DLC Quest. This is a satirical platformer and it's quite hilarious. It basically takes the piss out of the current state of the game industry, where we constantly have to add downloadable content which is completely insignificant to the game. So you can have, for example, at the start you don't even have animations, you have to buy them. Obviously this isn't with real money, you collect coins in the game and then you can buy the DLC using those coins. Apparently it's quite short. I haven't actually played it myself, but I've seen quite a lot of it. It was recently released in a indie bundle of some kind. I think it was Indie Royale, and it's also on the Zero, but it's not on Steam. It should be on Steam. It looks great. It looks very funny. I believe it's on Xbox Live as well, and it takes a piss out of several games. Like there's Horse Armor, which is an obvious jab at Bethesda for the Oblivion DLC, which had the same thing. But if you're looking for a good laugh, I'm sure this won't be extremely expensive, and it's always nice to have these games just around. So that is DLC Quest by Mr. Kane. It has received 5% of the necessary positive ratings so far, so go and rate that. Link in the description. This next game isn't really actually a game, it is a mod. And this, you've probably heard of, is called Black Mesa. And this is essentially a HD remake of the original Half-Life game. It's been in development for years, and it's going to be free when it's released. It is going to be released soon, whether it's on Greenlight or not. But frankly, if it is on Greenlight on Steam, then we can have it updated easier. It is free, you don't need any other Steam or Valve games to actually run it. You just need to download the free Source SDK base 2007 and you'll be able to play it. So if you haven't played the original Half-Life like I haven't, then this is a perfect thing for you, so go and give this a thumbs up. Now next up is a game that I had never heard of before I saw on Greenlight, and this is called Awesome Fools. It is a survival horror game, but it isn't really, well, it doesn't look particularly scary. It is kind of like Call of Duty Zombies, that kind of horde mode, where you fight against these weird bunny things. You have a gun, it's over the shoulder, third person view. It looks really interesting. The graphics look great. It's a creepy bear and bunny, strange mix up of horror and comedy by the look of it. There isn't really any gameplay yet. They do have some pictures, but they said they were working on a video. This is by Brute Games. You can also play multiplayer on this, so that was pretty interesting. I would definitely give this a thumbs up. It's not very high on support, it's got 1% at the moment, so go and give this a thumbs up. Definitely looks worthwhile. The next game is a pretty interesting one. It's called Miasmata, and it is by Ion FX. Now, something very interesting about this at the very start is it was developed by two people, two brothers, and I just don't know how they did it. It is absolutely amazing looking. It's a survival adventure game where, I mean, the visuals are just incredible for it. Most games that you see just can't live up to this, and this was made by two people. I can't really get around that. So it looks like a kind of adventure game, a bit like Dear Esther, but it is also got some survival elements, like there is a monster that you will see, and it looks quite dangerous. So yeah, this is a definite thumbs up from me, so I would go and support it. It's not quite there yet, it's got 7%, so it needs all the support it can get, and it definitely deserves it. Next up is a game called Buccaneers, and I have never seen anything like this before. It is essentially a first-person shooter where you take control of an airship and have to take down the other airships in the sky. It's heavily teamwork based, so you won't be able to go solo on this one. You will have to occupy this airship with some other people, taking different stations to be completely effective. You can also board other people's airships, and you're basically an air pirate, and you just have to destroy all the other things in the sky. So yeah, I've never seen anything like this. It looks really interesting. I always like to see things that are different and unique. I would definitely give this a thumbs up, but it only has about 5% of the necessary positive feedback so far, so that needs to go up. And so we come to the final game, and this is a very interesting one. It's called Orc Attack by Reciever Publishing. So this is a multiplayer beat-em-up game. It's quite similar to Magicka. You play as orcs, and it has 4-player online and local co-op. Each orc presumably has their own special attacks. They have different weapons each. But I definitely love the art style of this. It's something that I haven't really seen before. It's kind of a cartoony yet realistic looking design, and it looks really good. So go and give this a thumbs up. It is desperately in need of it. It only has 1% of the necessary positive feedback so far, and that just isn't good enough because this game really needs to be put on Steam. But that's it for the Searchlight, so thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have any suggestions of other Greenlight titles that you want me to feature in another episode, by all means leave that in the comments. If you're a developer yourself, by all means leave me a message or anything. You can find my email on cookingwithgrenades.com in the About section at the bottom. But that's all from me, so thanks for watching. Please like, favourite and subscribe for more like this, and I will see you next time.